Hey, this is Andy from Blackville Brides, and you're watching Rsptv.
Yeah, so your last concert here got cancelled, and you're here today instead. Why did the last concert got cancelled?
I had illness. Personally, I got sick, and then I had a family issue that I had to deal with, and everything just kind of got, there was too much going on to try to reschedule, so it sucks to cancel stuff. You know, for us, obviously for the audience, it's difficult, you know, to have to tell the audience that we're not going to be playing a show, and then for us on the financial end, we lose tons of money by canceling shows. There's tons of flights that have to be rescheduled. There's a whole crew that's sitting here in Europe while everybody else is back in the States, and you know, it's definitely not easy, but sometimes, unfortunately, cancellations have to happen, and we're happy to be here now and to be able to play the show today, and excited.
Yeah. How does it feel to play at this club today?
I don't know. I haven't played here yet, no. So I would assume good. It's been a great tour so far. We've been having a lot of fun. So yeah, I would assume it's going to go well. I hope so. I hope something terrible doesn't happen.
No, that would be bad. So this band have been around for 7 years now. What have been the biggest? What is the biggest difference in the band from then to now?
Probably more than anything, I would just say time. Kind of, you grow as a musician with time, so this is the best that the band has ever been, you know, in terms of, you know, we've been touring for a long time, more than half a decade at this point, and we're tight as a band, you know. I'm happy to go on stage and say that, you know, this is the best we've ever sounded, and it's a lot of fun to perform, because, I mean, over time you just sort of, you get your craft down, so to speak, and yeah, I think it's an exciting time for the band right now.
The music have developed into, like, another genre. Do you see the band as that the music have matured, or is it just that you want to play other kind of music, or? I
just think over time you evolve. You know, I don't think anybody stays the same forever.
No.
And I always liked bands as a kid that challenged me as a listener to kind of grow with them, and bands like AFI and some of my favorite bands always had an evolutionary thing. And I don't think we'll ever be the type of band that makes the same record twice. You know. By the same token, though, it's not like we're the kind of band that is trying to alienate our audience. We want to grow and evolve, but we want our audience to be there with us. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's just doing what makes us happy as musicians.
Yeah. And you're from Hollywood. How is the scene different from what it is like in Europe?
Los Angeles, the Los Angeles music scene is sort of interesting, because in the 80s and early 90s you had a very vibrant LA. Everybody was, you know, starting bands, and it was exciting. Anymore, I would say that Los Angeles is more of a EDM scene, you know, more electronic dance music stuff, less rock and roll music. I mean, obviously Hollywood is sort of the, you know, the capital of the whole, you know, hard rock metal thing, but it's kind of cyclical. Usually New York and LA bounce back and forth, and currently in the US it's kind of like, you know, plankety, like baby music, like folk music. Sounds like music that's being played for like little children during a, you know, like a school dance or something. You know, lots of bells and people dressed like old-timey farmers. But there's really nothing going on in terms of rock and roll right now in Los Angeles, except for, you know, the bands that are trying to kind of break through all that shit. So it's a strong underground scene, but, you know, I don't know. I think for us, we don't spend enough time at home to really have our hand on the pulse of the scene. We're usually on tour 8 months out of the year. So.
What do you think were different with Blackville Brides from the other underground bands back in the days?
Nobody wanted us to play anywhere. The other bands got a chance to play shows, we couldn't play anywhere. We had to play in parking lots. We were different, you know. It was, you know, we were either, you know, too much of a throwback for people, or we were too weird, or visually too strange, or musically, you know, not what was going on at the time. And, so we started playing parking lot shows, and that's sort of how we did it. We had Exhibit A Gallery and Tony Alba and our buddy Richard just let us play in the parking lot at their skate shop. And so people would come see us there and kind of built from there. So I don't know what it would be like to be like a successful band at the start in LA, you know, because we grew over time, and then eventually, you know, we started playing the Whiskey and all those places, and we got accepted then, but we didn't start out that way. So I don't know what it would be like to be. I never played the Viper Room. I've never played the Roxy. I never, like, those places wouldn't have us anyway.
Yeah, and did the musical Or the music, was it obvious that you were about to play this kind of music when you start, or was it just like you rehearsed and the music just grew?
What do you mean in terms of?
When you started the band, did you know what kind of music that you wanted?
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, we all kind of, I think that musically we're definitely a mix of all the things that the five of us grew up loving. So I think that we all knew what we wanted to do, and obviously it evolves over time and grows. But I think from the beginning we all knew what kind of sound we wanted.
Yeah. Did you all know each other before the band started?
No. I started the band when I was about 14 or 15 under the name Black Hill Brides, and it wasn't until like 2009 that I met the rest of the guys in the band, and it was just I happened to be lucky enough to meet Ashley and then meet Jinx, and Jinx knew Jake, and Jake knew Cece, and it's kind of one of those things where it kind of fell together.
And it's almost a year since you released your last record. How was it to work with Feldman?
Fantastic, yeah. John Feldman is one of my favorite people in the world, but just a fantastic, nice person, so talented, so much fun to work with too. Definitely somebody that I will continue to want to work with in the future.
What is different with these last records from the other ones?
Obviously, being that it was a concept record, there was a lot more that went into the story. But we also it was a more concerted effort to make more of a complete album as opposed to a bunch of songs. We wanted to make something that really was able to flow well together, and I think we did. We kind of rethought how we wrote. We broke the process down to be more. If we could play a song on a piano or an acoustic guitar, then we would kind of go from there, as opposed to usually it would be riffs and drumming and everything, and we kind of on this one broke it down to the bare essentials and built it up from there. So certainly a different type of record, but something that we're really proud of.
When do you think you will start write new material again?
Hard to say. We're going to let this record live for a little while before we try to go in and change it, but I would say probably around summertime is when we probably get back into the studio.
Yeah. Do you have any plans for the summer festivals, maybe Warped Tour?
A little bit here and there, but we're going to try to focus on making another record probably around that time. So maybe one-offs here and there, a few things, but we'll see.
How is it in the writing process? Do you all write your own parts, or do you have?
We kind of do it as a community, so to speak. The whole band will get together and somebody has an idea, and we'll kind of go from there. Or sometimes it'll be 4 or 5 different ideas, or one person follows the song all the way through. It really depends per song.
Yeah. What is your favorite song to perform live?
On this tour, it's been a song called Nobody's Hero, which I really enjoy. There's certain songs that in different parts of the world just hit differently with the audience, and that one really, for some reason, it's a great song that I love, but it really is, the audience loves it over here, so it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. When do you think you will come back to Sweden?
I don't know. We're here now, so I can't say when we're going to come back, but I would assume soon.
Yeah. Cool. That was everything for the interview.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.